Good afternoon, and welcome to the Eagle Scout Court of Honor for Tucker Halliday. My name is Frank Baum, and I've been granted the honor of being your Master of Ceremonies. We're gathered here to recognize Tucker for having completed the sometimes long and arduous, but always rewarding Trail to Eagle. I hereby call the Court of Honor to order. Will Caden O'Brien please come to the podium?
Please rise for the presentation of the colors. Color guard attention. Color guard advance. Color guard halt. Color guard, post the colors. Scout salute. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2. Scout sign. Please join me in the Scout oath. Could Pastor Dan please come to the podium and audience next to it.
Good afternoon. I am Pastor Dan Anderson Little. It is my privilege not only to be the pastor of this church, but also to be the host pastor for this marvelous Boy Scout troop and Cub Scout pack that we are partners in ministry with. It is my distinct honor to welcome you into this space today. You guys spend about as much time here as we do, so maybe you should be welcoming me, but it is great to be here. I've now been the pastor here for 2.5, coming on 3 years, and almost 2 of them outside of the pandemic and the lockdown. And one of the joys of being the pastor of a church with an active Boy Scout troop is I get to watch the boys, the young men, as they move through their various ranks. And I have had the opportunity to watch Tucker Halliday over the last a number of months and years as he's not only done the activities of Boy Scouts, but has led this troop. He is a most impressive young man, and it is a great honor for me to give the invocation today. Will you please bow your heads? Almighty God, as Tucker has worked so hard today showing gifts of loyalty, gifts of service, gifts of sacrifice that others might have an abundant life, we look to your work of all of those gifts as well, gifts that give us abundant life. And so, O God, God of all life, we ask that you would bless these proceedings today, that you would fill our hearts with joy, that you would redouble our determination not only to honor Tucker today, but to build up young men and women in our community as they become leaders for all of us. We ask, O God, that you would continue to lead and guide the leaders of this troop and of the pack, that you would continue to gather boys and girls to this great organization as they build character and as they serve this community and serve your world. Bless us now with your presence. Bless us with your power. Bless us with your joy, we pray, in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Dan. As we begin this Eagle Court of Honor, it is fitting that we start with the fundamental principles of scouting, the Scout Oath and Scout Law. When we joined, we recited the Scout Oath. Let us begin the ceremony by lighting the candles symbolic with the three parts of the Scout Oath. Duty to God and country. Duty to others. Duty to self.
In scouting, as in most activities of life, there are rules. The rules of scouting are found in the 12 points of the Scout Law. As a candle is lit for each point of the Scout Law, let us pay careful attention to the words and rededicate ourselves to the principles contained in those words. A scout tells the truth. He keeps his promises. Honesty is a part of his code of conduct. A scout is true to his family, friends, scout leaders, school, nation, and world community.
A scout is helpful.
A scout is concerned about other people. He willingly volunteers to help others without expecting payment or reward.
A scout is friendly.
A scout is a friend to all. He is a brother to other scouts. He seeks to understand others. He respects those with ideas and customs that are different from his own.
A scout is friendly.
A scout is
courteous.
A scout is polite to everyone regardless of age or position. He knows that good manners make it easier for people to get along together.
A scout is kind.
A scout understands there is strength to be gentle. He treats others as he wants to be treated. He does not harm or kill anything without reason.
Scout is obedient.
A scout follows the rules of his family, school, and troop. He obeys the law of his community and country. If he thinks these rules and laws are unfair, he tries to have them changed in an orderly manner rather than disobey them.
Scout is cheerful.
A scout looks for the bright side of life. He cheerfully does tasks that come his way. He tries to make others happy.
A scout is thrifty.
A scout works to pay his way and to help others. He saves for the future. He protects and conserves natural resources. He carefully uses time and property.
A scout is brave.
A scout can face danger even if he's afraid. He has courage to stand for what he thinks is it right, even if others laugh or threaten him.
A scout is clean.
A scout keeps his body and mind fit and clean. He goes around with those who believe in living by these same ideals. He helps keep his home and community clean.
A scout is reverent.
A scout is a reverent toward God. He is faithful in his religious duties. He respects the beliefs of others.
Thank you, Jaden Cooper. Honor Guard. Please escort before this court Eagle candidate Tucker James Halliday. Honor Guard, return to post. The presentation of the Eagle Award is the culmination of the efforts of many leaders of the Scout. It is an occasion of pride and joy and a time for serious contemplation. We realize this is the highest rank, the most coveted of all awards in scouting. It is the last major step in the advancement program. Troop Committee, have you verified and determined that Tucker Holliday eligible as an Eagle Scout? Yes. Please proceed with your testimony.
The first consideration in the examination of this candidate was proficiency in the various crafts and skills prescribed in the requirements of the Eagle Award. The Eagle candidate presented records of various merit badges earned, and these have been carefully approved by the Troop Committee. The court finds that the candidate has fully qualified for the required merit badges for the Eagle Award.
But what about his leadership?
Yes, another important consideration for the Eagle Award is leadership. The court has carefully reviewed the record of Tucker Halliday's leadership positions held in the troop, in school affairs, in the Eagle Service Project, which the candidate planned and supervised, and in his other activities. We find that he has demonstrated capacity and willingness to exert his leadership abilities in activities that are constructive and worthwhile in the community. We believe he is qualified to receive the Eagle Award.
And Tucker's character?
The last, but certainly not least, is the Scout's character. We have interviewed Tucker's teachers, pastors, parents, and friends, and you can only imagine how some of those interviews went. The court finds that this candidate is endeavoring to put into practice in his daily life the Scout oath and law, and we believe he will continue these habits long after receiving the Eagle Award.
Thank you, Troop Committee. Considering these various inquiries and your answers, this court finds the candidate, Tucker Halliday, qualified for the Eagle Award.
Members of the court, I represent all of those who have received the Eagle Award. We do not object to the awarding of the Eagle Badge, but we do believe this candidate should understand that the Eagle ring is a responsibility as well as an honor. We respectfully ask that he be informed of the responsibilities of the Eagle Scout before this prestigious badge is awarded.
Thank you, Michael Crank. That is an outstanding point. Will the following individuals please step forward and state the responsibility of the Eagle Scout? Linda Crank, Pablo Quiros, and Tracy Brown.
Let the red badge remind you of courage. Courage is the strength of all characters. Courage does not suggest that you are without fear, but rather that you are able to face fears and do what must be done. Trusting in God, neither shirk nor shrink from the task at hand. Do what's right even in the face of ridicule and criticism. Let the red of your badge stand for courage.
A second obligation of an Eagle Scout is to live with honor. An Eagle's honor and word are sacred and the foundation of his character. An Eagle so lives as to reflect credit to his church, his nation, his family, and himself. He is trusted. He is dependable. Let the white of your badge remind you always of honor.
A scout is loyal. To thine own self be true, and it must follow, as the night, the day, thou canst not then be false to any man. Neither pain nor profit, pride nor personal loss shall sway his loyalty. Let the blue of your badge stand for loyalty.
Thank you. Without the love and guidance of understanding parents, a young man is severely handicapped. Your parents have watched you grow and develop. They have worked with you in health, nursed you in sickness, guided your thoughts and your actions, and helped you in untold ways. Your home influence will last you throughout your life. I ask your parents to stand before you as a symbol that they will continue to help you to grow in the qualities and leadership and citizenship which true Eagle Scouts must have. Honor Guard, will you please escort the Eagle Scouts' parents before this court? Laura, this is your last chance to get in on this. Okay. Honor Guard, return to post. Would David Martin, Scoutmaster Emeritus of Troop 1989, please come forward and perform the presentation of the Eagle Award and the parents' pins? Thank you.
So Tucker, you've been awarded your cloth badge at the completion of your Eagle review, but now we're going to present to you your Eagle neckerchief and the certificate. Sherry, as a token of your continued support for your Eagle Scout, I'll ask that you pin the Eagle medal onto Tucker's uniform. Tucker, you've seen that your mother will continue to help you in the future as an Eagle Scout. Do you promise to do your best as that future Eagle Scout? I do. All right. Very good. So you now have the honor of pinning the mother's Eagle pin on your mother's ribbon. Tucker, your father has undoubtedly been a source of guidance and strength on your road to Eagle. He's who knows what kind of personal sacrifices he's given. He's probably had fun along the way, but he's done a lot for you. And to that, you have the honor of pinning the father pin on his uniform. The court now calls Ian Standiford to come and administer the Eagle Charge.
Many times over the last few years, you have joined your fellow scouts in repeating the scout oath. Now, you will stand before this court and repeat a new oath, the Eagle Scout Promise. Though the words you say are similar to those you've said many times before, today they will mean more to you than they ever have. When you pledge yourself on this sacred honor, you will be sealing your oath with the words which closed the Declaration of Independence. While awarding the Eagle Scout rank is a time for celebration and fond memories, it is also important and a serious occasion. Of all the boys who enter the scouting movement, a relative few have ever reached this goal. In recognition of this rare accomplishment, I'd ask all Eagle Scouts present to stand and be recognized. Gentlemen, please join Tucker in repeating after me the Eagle Scout Promise. Scout sign. I reaffirm my allegiance. To the three promises of the Scout Oath. I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself the obligations and responsibilities of an Eagle Scout. On my honor, I will do my best to make my training an example, my rank and my influence count strongly for better scouting and for better citizenship in my troop, in my community, and in my contacts with other people. To this I pledge my sacred honor. 2, please be seated.
Thank you, Ian. Those are 7 of my favorite words in any Scout oath or ceremony. To this, I pledge my sacred honor. Strong words, Tucker. Strong words. You know what they mean, right? Yeah. There we go. We traipsed a lot of people up onto the stage today. Each one of them was handpicked by Tucker because they mean something to him in his life. Right, they're his friends, his teachers, his leaders, his advisors, friends from the church, fellow scouts. Again, they're handpicked to be up here. All those people helped, and many more helped Tucker get to his Trail to Eagle. Now we'd like to hear from some of those people. Little stories, anecdotes, annex, trials and tribulations of Tucker on his Trail to Eagle. Any volunteers? Mrs. Brown. I figured you guys would start lining up at the door up here. Yeah, Tucker, you just need to stand in the center. Just take this, okay?
Yeah, stand up straight. We got a little time here. Hi. So 7 years ago, minus 2 weeks, which happens to be on February 18th, 2017, I met Tucker Holliday. Well, I officially met him. We had the opportunity to replace his neckerchief of being in Cub Scouts into the Troop 1989 neckerchief, which was a pretty cool experience. So, let's see, it was in September of the same year, we got to go on our first climbing campout.
So, and I'm a climbing instructor, and it was one of my greatest privileges to teach these young guys how to climb, how to rappel, tower safety, all of the great things. It was a lot of fun. And Tucker was quite a neat kid. He had a great energy about him. He had sort of this whiny sense but he was always enthusiastic, and he always wanted to be first. Always wanted to, he was very enthusiastic. So we were on the 12-foot, which is the first floor of the tower, and I was running the rappel station. So the kids were basically getting harnessed up, and they were going to fall out of a tower. I'm sure that 90% of you guys have done this, and probably 85% of you have been a little bit fearful of it. So Tucker was not an exception. He spent, I'm gonna go with maybe 45 minutes in absolute terror at being 12 foot off the ground and having to leave this thing. He was, what an experience. He was scared, but he was also excited. He did not want to give up, but he was frightened. And I was literally just looking at pictures of this. He finally got down. It was probably 45 minutes I'll never get back, but it's okay. It's okay. I got a few more. Excuse me. So he did. He finally rappelled, and it took him all of about 2 minutes to race up to the 48-foot level, and he has not stopped since. And he was, I think, in subsequent campouts and climbing, he was always there, always ready to help, and he has grown so much, and I'm so grateful to have witnessed that growth. And he doesn't whine publicly anymore that I know of. So I'm truly impressed and proud of your ability to really fight through and come out on top. It speaks a lot about your character. So, congrats.
Hello, for those of you who don't know me, my name's Jonah Wolf, and I met Tucker a long time ago. I met him the second time I staffed NYLT, 2019, session 2, and he was definitely in the worst patrol, and part of it was because of him, but that's where we started, all right? So here's this little pipsqueak, had ton of attitude, a ton of just spunk. That's the word I want to use, spunk. And I've been able to see him go through this and be able to see him grow and develop since then, physically and with his hair, if you haven't noticed. But with that, I've been able to see him grow and develop. I was the SPL of a camporee, and later that year, and he was over here like, I know you. And I'm over here like, hold on, I know you too. And it was from then on that I really knew who Tucker was. And he is somebody who's energetic. He's somebody who's excited and passionate about the program. And as someone who is also passionate about the program, I really respect that. He's always hands down ready to go do something else. He's like, all right, let's go do this, let's go do that. We need somebody to step up and be the next chapter chief. I got you, I'm your man. We were able to see him be chapter chief this past year, do a pretty good job. It was, I mean, that's your own opinion. It was proud to be able to give the headdress over to you as my successor, and as this next year becoming an area chief. I'm excited to see what you're gonna do, excited to see if you're gonna end up finally getting that haircut that I keep bugging you about. But with that, I am also really proud that you finally made it to the top of this journey. But don't forget that part of being an Eagle now is to give back to your unit, give back to Scouting as much as it's given to you. So, congrats.
Tucker. Is that a speech thing? Yeah, it's only a few hours. I'm cutting down your time, is what it is. So. You all will thank me. That's all right. No, so David Martin, I've been with Tucker since the beginning. He came in at Tigers and the Cub Scouts, and as his Cub Master, and then over to the pack, to the troop with as his Scout Master. So seen Tucker through all kinds of phases, all the cute little, he can sell popcorn to anyone phase, right? That's always a lot easier. To the, and I'm glad they got a picture of it, the bald phase, the bald Tucker phase.
It wasn't the phase.
Well, it lasted a little while. It was okay, right? But he's definitely evolved into helping others, and that's one true aspect of Tucker. He's always willing to give, always willing to help. Sometimes he drives that home. He's very passionate about it sometimes, and that's okay.
Where he needs is perfection.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll circle back to that. But then he came into Scouts, and the troop's been good for him. He has an AOL phase, a Order of the Arrow phase, and that's been pretty good phase, right? He's very passionate about that. You should ask him about it. He'll say about that a little later. So, and of course the mullet phase. We're seeing how far that's going to go, right, you guys? But anyway, Tucker would always stand up for the little guy. It doesn't matter what was going on, how big the other guy was. He'd get in the middle for any of his friends or any of his buddies in his patrol and someone's disagreement, whatever. And there was one camp out that Frank and I happened to be watching the boys over in their camp, and something happened. There's a disagreement, right? And next thing we know that Ian here, he's holding Tucker by the head, and Tucker's doing the shorthand thing, trying to get at him, and we're like, what's going on, right? And then next thing we know, Ian's like, got this, he's like, what? Why is he coming after me? It's like, I don't know if we ever really got to the bottom of it, but Tucker was just adamant, whatever it was, we couldn't really figure it out what it was. He was gonna, I know, most people don't, and that's what I'm saying, but man, you were tenacious about protecting your friends and helping them out. So, a true scout, right? You give, you help, you are friendly, you're a friend to all, and you help all. So, glad to have had this journey with you, and I look forward to where this is going to go for you and how this is going to take you on to the future. So,
You can be next. Tucker's a great guy. I love being on campouts with Tucker. He is so fun, and like everyone else said, he's so full of energy. He is really good at scouting. He's really good with all of his fellow scouts. He's just good at so many things about scouting, but I want to tell you what he's the best at. He's the best at singing. So you guys will have to hear his song. He has this great song about string pizza. Yeah. It's awesome. It's a hit with our troop, I'm telling you. Maybe he'll do it, at a camporee or something. It's about string pizza and the guy's mom, the guy who makes the pizza. And his mom's name is, what is it, Tucker? It's ukulele. So he needs to do a show for all of us.
Anyways, I'm super proud of you, Tucker, and I'm so glad to know you.
Hi, Tucker. Yeah, so I met this dude like 2 or 3 years ago or something. It was at a Fall Fell, but it's the randomest thing ever. I don't have a really much of a funny story, but it was how we met. And I was just pitching my tent, and I just see this dude with a mullet come up to me. I'm like, who is this dude? And he just talks to me, and starts talking to me like we're best friends. And I'm like, I was like, yeah, what's up, man? Yeah, cool. And I'm like in the back, like, who is this dude? I've never seen this person in my life, and he's just talked to me like he's my best friend, and now he's one of my best friends. So I'm so glad you actually did that, because it's been a blast hanging out with him. So.
I'm relatively new to the troop. I've been like, let's get 2 years, 3 years. And I met Tucker before the mullet. So I knew him when he was in the pack and also didn't have the mullet. But Tucker, when I first came into troop life and camping, was in a big hurry to get that trailer packed. We'd all stand there and Tucker would be packing, throwing. And the trailer would get packed up. And we'd watch the other scouts just walk around. And finally, as Tucker's mullet began to grow, his leadership skills began to grow. It was quite amazing. We began to notice that he has learned to delegate. And he delegated, and the longer the mullet got, the better his delegation became. And soon he had scouts whipped into shape, and they were loading the trailer. They knew what to do. You didn't hear him say a word hardly anymore, nor did you see him in there throwing the 10 Ticos in there trying to get our trailer ready to go for a camp out. So I don't know if it's the mullet or the fact that you've just really taken off as a leader, and I've seen that, and it's been such a great journey to see you do that and to see how far you've come. And I'm so glad you mentioned the string pizza, because none of us will ever forget ukulele.
I've had the privilege and honor of knowing Tucker for a long, long time and going through quite a bit of antics with him, from when we started with the Nerf gun wars. And I want to say that Miss Jeannie and I won against, and we still have the title to that, to the time when, in doing merit badges with Tucker, was always entertaining. Took a little bit of patience. I always had a Dr. Pepper, a little caffeine. But the one phase we went through that I thoroughly enjoyed was when he tried to teach me and others the floss. And he would go through meetings, he would go through any kind of conversation doing the floss. And in fact, you might be able to encourage him to do the floss right now. I will hide the other stories, but it's been a privilege to be part of your journey. It's been fun to watch you grow, and you continue to do great things. And they balance out your earlier years when you did really, really funny things. So it's a pleasure.
All right, I'm gonna have to cut everybody off or we'll be here all night, but not before I get my chance. I was Tucker's first scoutmaster. I was scoutmaster of the troop when he came over from Cub Scouts from Weeblos. And I remember him being a lot of those words people used earlier. I remember those words like whiny. That one stuck out. I remember the floss. In fact, I might have a video of it. I remember the ukulele song, and I hope that I hear that one again. And I know the reason why Ian choked out Tucker. But I'm taking it to my grave. So, but anyway, so being the scoutmaster, I had to call his dad that morning because his dad had to go home early to go to work, and told him about it. And he says, I thought his dad would be upset about it, and he says, "Is he okay?" Yeah, he's okay. Did he deserve it? Yeah, he probably deserved it. So, and that was it. That was the end of the discussion. I also got to see him come crying to me about. I'm not going to go into that one. That one's too embarrassing. But the Justin one, yeah, that was a bad one. It was Tucker, take your medicine. You'll be okay. But then the last one, though, how many of y'all, when you were growing up, men probably more than women here, but did your fathers or your mothers teach you never to hold a nail for someone else swinging a hammer? Well, apparently scouting failed Tucker in that regard because we did not teach him that one, and he didn't make it to a single day of winter camp because of that. 4 hours. Okay. Was that only 4 hours? We spent longer than that in the emergency room. All right, so that's my story of the Tucker. Tucker, I love you to death. Tucker was SPL twice for the troop. Fantastic job. Second time better than the first time. Is now the junior assistant scoutmaster position in the troop, doing a fantastic job, very important position. As Jonah alluded to, in OA, he was chapter chief. I was lucky enough to be his chapter advisor, so I got to watch him work there very closely. Did a great job, and now he's moved on to be the area chief, and we'll see how he does there, but I expect great things. So Tucker, has been my pleasure. Hey, don't go anywhere yet. Okay, you got to stand right here. Y'all may want to get the popcorn out because, unfortunately, this part of the ceremony is where I turn the mic over to Tucker, and this should be a real treat. Tucker.
All right, we forgot to put on your programs the 60-minute speech I'm about to give to y'all. So, hello guys, as you've seen, I've been standing in one place for about 3 hours now. I think that's probably the most important thing about being an Eagle Scout, just standing in that one place. First, I'd like to thank y'all all for coming to eat my dad's brisket, because I know that's the only reason why you're here. Thank you to everyone who said nice things about me, and funny moments that I won't have to talk to my mom and dad about. I'd like to thank Jason, Ian, and Jonah for helping me with this. Please don't annoy them too much after this. That's my job. And as well as Troop 1989, who's helped me with this as well. So, Scouts has always been beneficial to me and has always changed my life, good and bad. Good being I have a better character than I was when I wasn't a Scout. Bad being I grew a mullet. But I've grown throughout Scouts, but not alone. I've had multiple leaders with me. So I'm going to start out with my mentor pins. I have about 7 of them today. Let's see, do I have them all? I only have 6. Oh no, I have 7. Okay, so this person has seen me cry multiple times and is trying to make me jump multiple times. She's pushed me multiple times for my fear of heights, multiple times, and after that push, I finally usually did more, jump off more. That's what I'm talking about is rappelling, so if Tracy Brown would come up here and to get her mentor pin. All right. So the second person has helped me during COVID, and helped me before. She always helped me fix my character at a time when I needed it. She made an oath to me to help me get to Eagle, and she did. She helped with my merit badges during COVID, and when she was at major risk to catch it, because, no offense, she is old. Linda Crank, please come up here to accept her mentor pin. Six feet, please.
Now, I can tell you the rest of the story.
This next person, he makes me want to look up to him. The way he helps as many scouts as possible, no matter how much he will put in, 100% of the effort to help 1 or 10 of scouts. And maybe he doesn't understand, but I know he will know it in the next 10 minutes, so he's able to help scouts out. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't know that I look up to him to be a better scout and to be a better leader. So will Michael O'Brien please come up here to accept your mentor pin? All right, so I have 2 things of context for this. So last year I used to be the Atascocita chapter chief, and now I'm the area chief of Northeast B this year. Being in the OA, there's a lot of things, ordeals, and places we have to go. But my dad didn't want to make the drives. So now for the second thing of context, a few months ago, I named 3 people my dads. So I have 3 dads in scouting now. So now I'm going to talk about my Uber driver for OA events. This person drove me to LECs, drove me to TRJ back for spring fellowship, make sure to go this year, and countless other things that would make this a 60-minute speech if I actually went further. So can my favorite homeless man, my third dad, and the Uber driver come up here to accept his mentor pin? Mr. Baum, please.
That's my favorite award in scouting, the mentor pin.
Now this next person is someone that I couldn't have done, without her, I couldn't have done my Eagle project. She's the one who pushed me, to help me, and the one that got me here in the first place. If I didn't have the person to help me, I didn't know what I would have done. And she didn't help me with my Eagle project, but she helped me get through scouts and helped me with merit badges. And my favorite time is back in elementary school. After school, she would drive me to get Sonic. So can Mrs. Jeannie Martin come to accept her mentor pin? So now we go back to the context of 3 dads. This one's the second one. This person has watched me grow since the beginning of my scouting career and was the person who recruited me into Pack 243 at the ice cream social. Now I did cry that time, but he was like 10 foot at the time. But he's helped me through scouts, as well as been my scoutmaster for like 3 years. So we've had talks during the Scoutmaster Conference, and he's helped make my character better as well. So Mr. Martin, can you please come up here to accept your... All right. I didn't write a speech for this person. So I lied. You know, a scout's supposed to be trustworthy. I made a list of 7 people on it, and one of the people wasn't actually going to get a mentor pin. The reason why is because someone had to know it. Now, so this person I'm talking about, he is my father. He is my first dad, and he has gotten to me where I'm at. As people have spoken about him tonight, he has helped me through scouting. He has pushed me further and further. He has helped me with merit badges. When I used to be a historian, he helped me take pictures, helped me learn. He was always there to push me mentally and physically. But no matter what, he would always support me by my side. So will my dad, Mr. Halliday, first dad, Robert Halliday, please come up here to accept your mentor pin. That goes to end my speech. Thank you all for coming out here. I love to see all your beautiful faces and talk to you afterward. I'm done. Am I allowed to sit down, sir? Thank you. No.
Okay. Okay, back on script. Thank you very much for coming to the Eagle Court of Honor. Please join us in the fellowship hall for our reception. But before we depart here, I'd like to call Jaden here, to say our grace before we leave the church to go into the reception hall.
Please take off all non-religious headgear. Thank you today for us all being here for Tucker's Court of Honor. Thank you for us having these memories, and thank you for letting us go in there and getting ready to eat. Amen.
The family's going to stay behind and take pictures. Is it okay if other people stay behind and take pictures too? So if y'all would like to take pictures with Tucker and the family, go ahead and stick behind. If you don't, and you want to head down to the reception hall, I guess Ian is down there right now serving. Okay, Ian's down there serving, great. I now declare this court of honor closed. Please stand for the retirement of the colors. Caden?